tuning into this little quickie video I want to make today of this kind of an open, it's an open string dominant 7 kind of lick, but this is really based off a Jerry Reed idea that he used in Jerry's Breakdown, which was kind of like this kind of thing. And that's what I based this little idea off of at the beginning of the lick you just saw. Because I really do warm up to these open string licks. I think they're very useful, especially for country and even blues and stuff, or even rock. If anyone's interested in seeing a great hybrid picker, he does a lot of open string and harmonics and stuff with a hybrid picking technique. Pick and fingers, or just thumb and fingers, is Tim Henson from Polyphia. It's just amazing guitar player, but he really has a handle on how to play with a pick, but still use a lot of finger techniques and stuff. But anyways, let's get to the lick here. So what the best way I find to explain this, and by the way, for the backing track, that's just kind of like an Eric Clapton Lay Down Sally thing. So it's a real straight ahead kind of just stays on the 1, but it's very dominant because he's using the dominant 7 lick there. So what we got here is what you want to do, and I'm going to explain it with a pick and then without. So for the first little part, we just have this. It's a Mixolydian scale from this middle A here, but what we're going to do is play it with pick. Then third finger is going to play the open B, and then pick. Actually, sorry about that. It's pick, middle finger, and then third finger, and then middle finger. I play that 6th fret. That's what it is. And then pick for the 7th fret, and then you have another open E string. So it's. And then you go to the 7th fret on the B. Now that to me is the first half of it. And the second half goes to the 8th fret, open E, then 7, 8, and then E, open B. So think of it as 2 halves. Okay, that's the first half of the lick before we get to this other part. So the other part here, just think of it, you're sliding into a major third, and then to the A, and then an open G string, which would be the same as this. But we're not doing that, we're doing. Okay, and now this, sliding in from the 4th to 5th, then 7 and open D, and that would be the same as. So you see the advantage of these open strings. If you do it without open strings, it's a little more difficult then. See that? As opposed to. And then so finally we go, and then I slide in from 3 to 4, or something like that. Or you can go. Any variation of that blues ending kind of on a major third. So the whole thing put together something like that. Now again with the picking, pick, 3rd finger, middle finger, pick, 3rd finger, middle finger, and then I start with pick here, I believe. Sometimes when we do these things, we don't really even, it's just kind of automatic. But if I start from here, I end up going pick. Yeah, pick, fingers, fingers, pick, fingers. But you can see on that camera there what I'm doing. And then here, now, I just want to point out that even just the second half of this lick is very useful. If I just play the little loop for you here, I'll show you what I mean. Even if you're just working with trying to figure this out, it's really fun to play that with that. So it's not that generally doesn't have to be the whole lick, if you know what I mean. It's kind of two halves of a cool idea. So I'm just going to put on the thumb pick because this is definitely something I find easier with a thumb pick, or just with the thumb, by the way. If you're a Knopfler kind of player where you're not using any pick, it's really the same picking, except you have a little more freedom with the index finger, obviously. So if I was playing with a thumb pick or no pick, it would be thumb, middle finger instead of third finger, because we have an extra middle finger, third finger, and then index. Then pick, middle finger, index, whoops. Yeah, index, pick again. So that's kind of where you're at here. So think of it as two separate halves. That's the second half. This is the first half. And that's about it. That's the lick in a general sense of the idea. So I don't want to get too long-winded. I think most everyone can kind of understand this. Now, one other thing I want to point out that's fun to do here as well. If you are interested in open lick scales and stuff, this is a cool way to play, like a Mixolydian lick with an open string approach. This is the Mixolydian. The only note missing out of this is the B note for this particular lick. So it would skip the B, and then it goes all the way up the scale. Like this. Okay? Whoops. Something like that. So it starts like this. Right? So what that is just a forward roll. Now I'm going to do it with a pick because I know most players are pick players. So you'd have the pick and then the 4th fret on the A and then an open D string. So that's real easy. And then the next half is a 7th fret, 4th fret, open G string. And that in itself is very useful if you get used to that forward roll. Pick, middle finger, third finger, pick, middle finger, third finger. And then from here I'm going to the... See, so you're adding that into that lick as well. So that's very useful. And then one other thing I'll point out, because I'm on the topic of this scale, if you want to do the complete Mixolydian scale with that B note in there, so it's pure Mixolydian, start it like this. Now you've got open A, then you're going to put the pinky or third on the B note here of the E string, and do that forward roll with 7th fret, 4th fret, like that. So you have, and that's the same as this. So you have, and then it's the same from here on in. It's 7th fret, 4th fret again. So it's like, and that's the same as this. So you see how that has a whole different sound as well. The strings ringing out a bit more, different, give it a different character. Of course, with a lot of distortion, you might find those open strings aren't so pleasant. So a bit of distortion is fine, or if you can mute a distorted sound, that works as well. But anyways, that's the lick for the day. Hope you guys can enjoy that lick and figure it out. Now let's just do the second half.